team news, what the situation is, and with Mazraoui and Burmo, could one of them potentially feature this weekend, or would you give us some time off?
I don't think so. I think it's too close a turnaround, so we'll have the same players available for the game as we had against Burnley, so no new additions, and Brian and Noose will be not available for the game.
Grimsby was the low point of the season in the Carabao Cup. This is a club synonymous with cup success, so how important is it to have an FA Cup run and this competition?
That's an important competition, and Manchester United's about winning trophies, and I think we've had good success in the competition in recent years. Won it a couple of years ago, lost in the final. It's an amazing competition. It's the first trophy that I won as a player. It's a special tournament, and you know, as in with the season so far, not in Europe, out of the League Cup, Premier League obviously, but it's the FA Cup's a trophy that we should be vying to win, and giving ourselves every opportunity to win.
Thanks, George. Afternoon, Darren.
Hi.
You've been really open about some of the conversations you've had with different players so far this week. Just wonder if you've had a chance to speak to Cobby, just because there's been so much speculation around his future because of lack of game time. But overall, how is he? How has he been doing?
He seems in a good place. Cobby doesn't give you much, so you wouldn't know if he was in a good place or not so good. He's like that. That's his natural way. But I know him well, and I've known him for a long time, and I've seen him around the building and around different places throughout the season. Not so much about the building, but you see people around, and I've had conversations with him in general. But he's in a good place. I know Cobby, and I think he knows me, and he knows Travis Binion, so he's comfortable with his environment. So he's in a good place. He's trained well, and as I said, he's hard to read, Cobby. So that remains to be seen.
Darren, Harry Maguire, I think most people are a little bit surprised that he was on the bench on Wednesday night. Is he in a position where he could start, or what's his fitness? Because he's obviously been out for a while.
Well, he has been out for a while, so it'd be probably looking at his load and things like that. Decision's not been made, but I think like you've seen the players coming back the other night, you've seen Mason, you've seen Cobby, you've seen Bruno. There has to be some understanding of their first minutes. Might have to be careful a little bit with that process to build back in. So I think Harry will probably be in that situation for the weekend.
Hi, Darren. We saw the impact Shea made off the bench the other day. I don't know whether you're going to start in this weekend or what. I'm not going to ask about that. But in terms of the academy, that's what young players can do. It felt like it was kind of an issue maybe towards the end of Ruben's time. Obviously, there was the mention of Chido and Harry and the entitled mention in his press conference. You've seen a lot of them with the under-18s and working in the academy. What's your view of how the academy is working here and how players are developing, I guess, in terms of ability and character and attitude and things like that?
I just think historically, and this club's built around the academy. We've got an amazing academy. Our record speaks for itself. I'm not going to stand here and say anything other than that. We've got an amazing record. I think it's hard to beat in terms of the history of clubs around the world. I think we've got some amazing players, some amazing talents. I think what I see is a lot of hard working, humble young players who ain't perfect because they're young and they're learning and they've got a lot to do. I think we ask and expect too much of young people sometimes in society and in general, and that's not a criticism of anybody, that's just my beliefs. I think we have to let them learn, educate them, help them, understand they're going to make mistakes and they're going to do things that will frustrate you. But through time, with good guidance of coaches, family members, players in the first team squad, all of us play a part. That's our role, that's our jobs, of developing them to be Manchester United players and Manchester United people. So all I can say is my workings with those players as individuals and in general throughout the academy, I deal with hard-working, honest, coachable, super talented kids, and we've got a lot of talent in our academy, and hopefully they can showcase themselves like Shea did when he came on against Burnley and so close to scoring a fantastic goal.
Darren, you were speaking on Wednesday night after the match about the fact that you're learning about the confidence levels of the players, particularly when it came to not holding on to that lead. What have you done this week to try and sort of restore that confidence? What techniques have you used? Is it meetings? Is it showing them videos of the past, or how have you tried to do that?
It's just feedback. It's just talking to them. It's just trying to paint the picture of what to expect, not to deal with this, how to deal with disappointments in games, how to see out different situations in games. It's been not a lot of time to practice it, so video. We'll review the game against Burnley and there's some key details in that we'll try and improve on. I think it's a constant thing that evolves over time for me. It's conversations, it's video, it's coaching on the training ground, it's dealing with learning from new experiences that happened within game, and growing and building as a team and developing confidence and going on a run where you deal with those situations. But handling disappointment in football is everything, on and off the pitch, different situations in the game, and it's recognising and understanding that you've got 90 minutes to rectify things, and nothing's going to be perfect. I think people striving for perfection, football's about chance, luck, opportunities, different things happen. Look at the game the other night. I mean, we conceded one shot on goal, another shot off target, and we draw 2-2. But that's football. We have a disallowed goal, which is unfortunate. Things happen in football. You've got to be able to deal with them constantly and just keep believing while there's 90 minutes on the clock that you can change it around.
Darren, just going back to the Burnley game, there was an incident that was missed by the referee in the VAR where Kyle Walker stamped on Patrick Dorgu. One, can I ask your reaction to that incident? And two, Patrick probably admirably didn't react, but we're in a situation where the players are actually feeling they maybe need to react to get the referee and the VAR's attention, because had he milked that moment or rolled around, he probably would have ended up getting Kyle Walker would have probably ended up being sent off.
So like Kyle Walker did when Leacher didn't touch him, yeah. That's sort of the territory we're getting into just now. But Patrick's such an honest guy; he's never going to do that. It didn't look great from Kyle Walker's point of view, but I like Kyle and I know him as a person, so I hope the intent was to get the ball. Patrick thought his intention at the time was Kyle tried to get the ball and made contact with him, so that was his understanding of the incident in the moment. For me personally, I think VAR should have looked at. They looked at the goal disallowed, which was ridiculous, so they should have been looking at that for me. And as you say, if they don't, you're just going to encourage players making massive dramas out of things and being theatrical, which is what we don't want in the game. I don't want that from my players. I'd strive my players not to do it. But them two situations probably were massive influences on the game the other night, so it shows you how influential it can be.
I'm just wondering if you've had the chance to speak to Sir Jim Ratcliffe this week, any conversations with him, just about the vision of the club and also your own future?
I've not, no, and again, the process here works. I speak to Omar and Jason. That's how the processes work. For me, I've been focusing on the job in hand, preparing the team for these two games. There's been no thoughts or conversations about my future. Honestly, the people in Jason and Omar have given me full responsibility to take control of these two games, make my own decisions, lead the team, guide the team, prepare the team, and that's what I've been doing. There's been no conversations with anybody outside of those two people in higher up positions in the club.
Big. And we have been live. There you have it, guys. That was our manager's pre-match press conference for the Brighton game, Manchester United versus Brighton on Sunday. An FA Cup tie, guys. An FA Cup tie. The wonder, the magic of the FA Cup has officially arrived. I always feel like it's weird that the FA Cup for the Premier League team starts all the way in January. I don't know how you guys still feel about the FA Cup. Do you still care about it? Is the magic of the FA Cup still with you, or has Manchester United just hammered out all the optimism out of you? Big up the chat. Big up everybody. We've just listened to Fletcher's press conference, and in my opinion, quite a decent one. Quite a decent press conference. There's a lot for us to get into, so welcome everybody who's joining, anyone who is late, who is on time. Big up the chat, big up the community, guys. So let's get into it. Fletcher has spoken. He just finished, and he has spoken about the youth. He's spoken on the youth. He's spoken on Kobe mainly, spoken on the FA Cup, of course, and spoken on the squad. Also, something that I missed as well that he's spoken on is Kyle Walker's stamp. I don't think I noticed Kyle Walker stamping on anybody in the game, but he's spoken on Kyle Walker's stamp. Spoken on the fan protest as well, which is scheduled. We know there's a fan protest scheduled against Ineos and the Glazers. He's also spoken about Sesko. Yes, Sesko's 2 goals in the previous game. He's spoken on that as well. And Ornstein, David Ornstein, has come out and he has spoken on the new manager. So a lot of quotes for us to get into, a lot of quotes for us to analyze. There's a few other topics on my list that unfortunately I can't see, but we'll get into them as well. So big up, guys, big up the chat. Let's get straight into it, people. Fletcher's Brighton pre-match press conference, and like I said, guys, he was asked about the academy, and this is the big difference between someone who knows how to speak, someone who knows what to say, someone who just knows. Because one of my big recent issues with Ruben Amorim is how negatively he spoke about the young players. And even if you don't value the young players, even if you don't rate them as highly as others, sometimes you just know how to protect people. Sometimes protecting your players and managing the media is more important than you just lashing out. And I feel like Fletcher's response here when he was asked about the youth is what a Manchester manager or Manchester United manager is supposed to say. He's come out, and when he was asked about the youth, he said this: I think historically this club is built around the academy. Our record speaks for itself. I can't stand here and say anything other than that. That's what it sounds like for someone who understands the club, understands the history, and speak up the youth. Amorim, he's not a Manchester United person. He doesn't really care about the history. He wasn't going to do this. He goes on to say this: we've got some amazing talent. What I see is a lot of hard work, humble young players who aren't perfect because they are young and learning. Thank you, Darren Fletcher, for speaking about young people like they are young people. That's what you're supposed to do. We've got amazing talent. They work really hard. They're not perfect, but they're young and they're learning and they're going to make mistakes. He goes on to say this: we ask too much of young people in society at times, which is also true. The amount of growing up, a 16-year-old footballer has to do is crazy. The amount of growing up an 18-year-old has to do, footballer, is crazy. You can't be like a normal 18-year-old. He's not going to be on social media the same and doing all the other things his friends are doing. You know how hard it is to tell all your friends, I can't go out tonight because I got a game tomorrow. And that's going to be your life for 15, 20 years. And miss out on some of your childhood. That's not easy to do. He goes on to say this: we have to let them learn, educate them, help them understand they will make mistakes. Perfect answer. With good guidance, all of us play a part in developing them to be Manchester United players and people. My working with them as individuals and throughout the academy, I deal with hardworking, honest and coachable kids. Hopefully they can showcase themselves like Shea did. Perfect. Perfect. If you're in the academy right now, if you're a young player at Man United right now and you heard Fletcher say these things, you're going to go training the next day and you're going to work harder. I'm telling you, you are. You are. You're going to be like, yeah, man. Yeah, tomorrow I'm going to go to training tomorrow. I'm going to flip and kill it. You would. So I just want to highlight this because for me, this is one of the biggest takeaways. I said Man United, some of the core principles. I think if you were going to say what is a Man United DNA, you would say attacking football. You would say playing with wingers, because we've always done that, not wing backs, wingers. And I would say that we've never been shy in playing the youth. I would say those three are very important cornerstones of being a Manchester United fan or understanding the Manchester United ethos. So I like that, guys. Let me know, comment below what you thought about that quote from Fletcher. Let's move on, guys. Let's talk about other things that the interim manager has said, and also let me know about the feel of Darren Fletcher. How are you feeling about the press conference? How are you feeling about the game in general? Are we going to win? Are we going to lose? What is your expectations with regards to formations? Who's going to start? Who's not going to start? Just comment below, guys. Give me some feedback. But the manager has spoken about Darren Fletcher, or about Walker's stamp on Dorgu, which honestly, guys, I did not even see in the game. And it's quite interesting because I don't remember any of the cameras pointing it out as much, or any of the commentators or anybody highlighting it. Very, very strange. But as you can see very clearly, that is a picture of Kyle Walker stamping on Dorgu. Fletcher said this, like Kyle did when Leacher didn't trust him. That's the territory we're in. It didn't look great from Kyle's point of view, but I like him, so I hope his intent was to get the ball. Wow, I'm reading this tweet, guys, and the language and the spelling is just appalling. Absolutely appalling. And it's also interesting that he said, I like him. So I hope his intent was to win the ball because I like him. At least people are honest with their bias. VAR should have looked at it. I agree. I'm so disappointed with VAR. Because it seems as if even with VAR, it is still subjective. It is still pick and choose when you apply VAR, which is nonsensical in my opinion. But let's read on, guys. Let's read on. They looked at the goal which was disallowed, but they didn't look at this incident. And these two incidents would have massively influenced the game, which I agree wholeheartedly. I didn't see the incident, but now retrospectively, that's crazy to me. That, just looking at that, that's at least a yellow. Even if he did it by accident, it's a yellow. It's a yellow card, guys. It is. So our interim manager, had a few things to say about that. Let me know if you agree with him, or let me know what your thoughts are on the matter. Let's move on. So he spoke on the youth. He spoke on Kyle Walker's stamp. Let's see, guys, what he's had to say about Kobbie Mainoo. Before the season started, or maybe as the season was starting, I did say to my chat, I did say to my community, all of you guys, that some of you are going to start hating Kobbie Mainoo. I was going to say that you're going to be convinced very quickly to hate the best talent that's come out of our academy over the last 5 years. For what reason, I don't know why some of you might hate him, but there is a growing resentment of Kobbie Mainoo, largely probably because of the manager as well, which is quite interesting. Quite interesting, because he was here before the manager, and we've seen what he can do. We've seen what he's capable of. We've literally seen how good he can be. And the manager's come in, Ruben Amorim, only been here a year, and people are, let's just use the word resentful. Some people are resentful of Kobbie Mainoo. But this is what Fletcher has had to say about Kobbie. He seems in a good place. Kobbie doesn't give you much. He's like that. It's just his natural way. I know him well. I've seen him around the building and had conversations with him. He's in a good place. He's comfortable with his environment and he's trained well. Good. Listen, whatever you guys want to say about Fletcher, and right now this conversation, this stream, is not really about judging Darren Fletcher. It's just about the pre-match press conference and getting ready for the game. But he's saying all the right things. He is trying to get all the fans together. He's trying to settle everybody. He's trying to be positive. He's trying to improve the atmosphere the environment right now between the media, the fans, and the football club, which is, especially now after Amram has been sacked, it is severely fractured. So his job really is to steady the ship. He's not going to come in here and rustle any feathers and say anything negative. That wouldn't be optimal for him to do that. So he's saying some really positive things about Kobe. I also think, guys, let me know what you guys think. That is interesting and also important that he's said Kobe Mainoo doesn't give you much. He doesn't say much. And I know so many people, not just footballers, people who are just naturally introverted. And when you are naturally introverted in a world that tells you that being extroverted is typical and you need to just be loud and you need to be, doing this and doing that. When someone like a Kobe Mainoo or an Anthony Martial, for instance, doesn't speak and don't say much because they're introverted, in this society that is often seen as a negative. Someone not speaking out means you don't know a lot about him. Someone who's reserved means you don't know a lot about them, and therefore you might fail to connect with them, which means you can probably, due to unconscious bias, be more horrible towards them because you haven't got that connection with them. So it's important to understand people's personalities, and it's okay to have different characters. Kobe, clearly, as he comes across, is a quiet, reserved lad. So like I said, Darren Fletcher's job really is to be positive right now. And that's what we expect. So big up, Darren. Big up, Niche Fan. Niche Fan in the building. Turkish in the building. Niche Fan says he said he's allowed to make his own decisions. What a lie. Maybe. I think Fletcher is... who was telling Amram who to play? Nobody was telling Amram who to play and what formation to pick until the very end when things started to go sour. I don't feel like anybody can tell Darren Fletcher who to play. I don't think that's the case. But he's definitely going to be somebody who toes the line. Why wouldn't he? If you've never been a manager before, you're Man United great, and all of these things, you're probably going to toe the line a bit more and not come out and say some mad things like Amram would, or anything to upset just anything to upset your bosses. Not in the 2 or 3 games that you have. So I understand that. He just wants the best for the football club, and he's going to do what's best, in my opinion. So let's move on. Let's see what Darren Fletcher has got to say, what else he's got to say. Like I said, I started this live by asking the chat really what their feeling is regarding the FA Cup, because we won it recently, I think 2 seasons ago, of course, with Ten Hag, and it's always a good competition to win. But over the last few years, let's say, I feel like not only has football losing a bit of its magic in general, I think the FA Cup has lost a bit of its magic. Maybe they need to increase the prize money. Maybe the FA Cup prize money isn't big enough, and therefore a lot of teams don't take it seriously. I don't know what it is, but Darren Fletcher has come out and he has also spoken about the FA Cup. Let's see what he's got to say. It's an important competition and Man United are about winning trophies. We've had good success in recent years and it's an amazing competition. It's the first trophy I won as a player. Special tournament. Not in Europe, out of the League Cup. It's a trophy we should be trying to win and give ourselves every opportunity to win. So, are we going to win the FA Cup, guys? Are we even going to beat Brighton on Sunday? What is your optimistic level right now? How optimistic are you guys about Sunday? Especially given what we've seen in Darren Fletcher's first game. How are we going to set up on Sunday, people? How are we? Anyway, Shivam's in the building as well. Big up, Shivam. Mainly quiet and reserved. What about the t-shirt? Shivam, you are always going to dislike Mainly. Shivam, I want you to let me know when. When do you think, Shivam, you went from liking Manu to now disliking the lad? I want you to tell me when that point was. Why did you switch from, because Kobe Manu was scoring goals for us, playing well, but something happened, Shivam, for you to now really dislike him. And I want you to tell me, because now I'm so curious. I want to know what that was. Was it the fact that he wants to play football and that angered you that he wants to play? Because his brother, or his half brother, whatever you want to call him, wearing a t-shirt saying "Free Kobe," Amram even came out and said he doesn't care about that. Amram even came out and said more along the lines of, yeah, I understand he wants to play football, so his brother wants him to play football. I don't really get your anger, Shivam, at Kobe Manu. I really don't get it. And it also remember at the start of the season you wanted Amad Diallo to leave. So I hope it isn't what I think it is. That's all I'm saying, Shivam. I hope it isn't, because I'm just like, what is it? What is it? Every time you come in the chat, it's always anti-Manu. So I want to understand, Shivam, where is it coming from? Because why do you think I don't hate Manu like you or dislike him? Where does it come from? He's a disgrace to our... Kobe Manu is a disgrace to our club. What has he done? What is this 19-year-old done that he's a disgrace to our club? Bro, I just need to... Shivam, I'm just talking to you directly now. I need to understand where it's from, because I'm just seeing you hating all the black people in Man United, the Amads and the Kobes. And I need to understand that it's nothing else other than that. That's all. Because Manu never played good ever. So you're trying to tell me the first year when he broke through, when he was scoring all those goals, he wasn't playing good? I just don't get it, guys. Like I said, we don't always need to think the same way. But yeah, I just find it interesting that you can see him play well in European finals for England, all these things. Burst through for United, do well as an 18-year-old, and now it's like every stream anti-Manu. And Manu doesn't even play too many games, so I just don't get it. Anyway, let's move on. I've asked a question to Shivam, a really deep probing question. And he's given me his answer. He just doesn't think Kobe Manu has... Let me know if you guys agree. Kobe Manu has never played well for United. He's not good, says Shivam. All right, Darren Fletcher. Darren Fletcher has spoken on the squad, spoken on AFCON and all of that stuff. Yeah, and he's basically said, for some reason, guys, I don't know why some people think that Brian Mbeumo, who apparently has a match today, is going to fly back after his game and start on Sunday. What, in literally less than 2 days? It's insane. So he's to squash that rumor that Brian Mbeumo or Mazraoui will be back for Sunday. He's completely squashed that rumor. And yeah, spoken about the academy positively and essentially confirmed that they'll have the same squad available for Brighton. So we're not expecting anyone new. No sort of... I think Maguire was on the bench in the last game anyway. Mount is back. Bruno, of course, started the game. Xerxes fit. So the same squad, the exact same squad for the Brighton game. So because of that, people, I assume we are going to set up in a very similar way. I can't imagine that he will change the starting lineup too much. I don't know. Let me know if you disagree. Shivam, I'm just asking. I fundamentally disagree. He's better than Casemiro, he's better than Ugarte, and they start. He's technically one of the best footballers we have at the football club. So me and Shivam have a fundamental difference in what a good footballer is, which is very, very interesting. But it's not an issue. It's not an issue. Even though I wish we had a very similar view. But so yeah, let me know. Let me know, guys. Let's move on. Right. So the Brighton manager was asked about what he saw different to the previous game. And I think this response is quite interesting. He says they had a clear-cut number 10 and also a clear-cut striker. What does that even mean, bro? I mean, I think what he's trying to say is there was clearly a striker and clearly a number 10, but I'm like, there's always clearly a striker and there's always clearly a 10. The way that we played against, so we're going to look at it, the way that we played in the previous game was more closely a 4-2-3-1, in my opinion, which means we kind of played with Bruno as the 10 and Sesko in front of him. Maybe that's what he means. Cunha floated. Cunha was supposed to be on the right-hand side, but he floated around. Dorgu stick to the left-hand side. So, yeah, it's very interesting. A weird thing, I think, for the Brighton manager to say. If I'm trying to decipher what he's saying. But, cool. Cool. I don't know why that's there anyway. Anyway, just in case you guys don't know, goal line technology is being used for all matches this weekend played at top flight and championship grounds. So I don't think goal line technology is used in the championship grounds, but it will be this weekend. Let me know if I'm wrong. Also, in case you guys want to know, there's going to be extra time and penalties if there isn't a winner. So rather than there being a replay, as there often would be in FA Cup ties this early, this match against Brighton on Sunday will go straight to extra time and penalty. So we could be watching a game for a long time if either team do not get the job done. So that's also some news for you guys as well. Let's move on to let's see what the chat is saying quickly. TK said Mainey looks like a smaller version of Jude Bellingham when he runs, moves, passes. He has the skill, needs to work on the overall command of midfield. He was never afforded such chance. Big up TK. Yeah, so I read that. Mainey doesn't play because he's not good. Yes, exactly, Wiz. A fundamental problem. For me, a footballer is who can pass, run, dribble, and shoot. He can't do any of the four. No problem in having a difference in opinion. Kobe can't shoot. Kobe, man, you can't shoot, says Shivam. My lord. And he can't dribble. But you said a footballer needs to dribble. What about defenders, Shivam? Does a defender need to be a good shooter and dribbler? You says a footballer is who can pass. Kobe Mainoo can pass the ball. He wouldn't have played. He was the best player for England in the tournament. What? We've seen Kobe Mainoo pass the ball really well. He can run. He doesn't run as quickly as you want him to run, but he can run. And I think he's a good dribbler of the ball. Have you not seen Kobe Mainoo dribble with the ball? And he can't shoot. Wow, I think, yeah, you are, Shivam. I can officially say you are Because you know when you use your eyes and you watch somebody and I just can't see what you see at all when it comes to Kobe Mainoo. And I feel like if you're like this with Kobe, you have to be like this with Bruno, with Ugarte, with Casemiro, with most of the, because he's, I don't know. It's just strange. Like I said, difference of opinion, but knowing someone's opinion is so off. Because this is the same Shivam that wanted Ahmad to be sold. And Ahmad's our best player. All right then, Shivam, do you think Ahmad is a good footballer? How do you rate Ahmad then? I want to know. I want to know. And Shivam says, it's a disgrace. I just don't understand how Kobe Mainoo is like the worst footballer. To Shivam, Kobe Mainoo is like the worst footballer. He can't do anything. And I'm like, how has he, with his eyes, got to that conclusion that he's that bad of a footballer? I don't know. Maybe Shivam is right. Shivam says disgrace because he knew about the t-shirt and still did. But how do you know he didn't do anything? And how do you know he knew about it? Shivam, I'm getting to the point where I might have to block you. Because you're now saying things that are false and you're now making things up to be biased, bro. Yeah. It's getting to that point. Because it's like, I would need intelligence in my chat, bro. I need it. Otherwise, my head gets hot. Like, you can disagree with me, but disagree with me intelligently. I don't want anyone in my chat, to be telling me that Kobe Mainoo is not good at anything. Because it means you're lying. You're either lying or you don't understand football. Like, you can say he's not quick. I don't mind if you say there's certain things, parts of his game that he's not really good at. But when you're saying Kobe Mainoo is just not a good footballer, that's when I'm like, raw. What is happening here? Anyway, that is what it is. Let's move on anyway. Let's move on. You guys will have your opinions. I will move on. Fan protest. We've seen this before. We've heard these things before. It's not the first time a group of fans are planning a protest. It's not the first time. Man United fans plan a protest and a vote of no confidence in owners, including Sir Jim Ratcliffe and the Glazer family, amid growing anger over club management and recent turmoil. I know what it is. I think because Shivam was hammering in. No, I'm not even thinking properly. The psychology of the Amram inners, people who wanted Amram to stay, they automatically hate Kobe because they also think that Kobe is the reason why Amram's gone. So that's also the psychology that a lot of Amram lovers are battling with. They've taken a side, once again, just like Sancho and all the others, and I get it. It also depends on your culture. I feel like people take the side of the manager, of the leader, of the king, of the emperor, whoever he's telling you what to do, whoever's above you. So a lot of people like that, and I don't. I usually take the side of the other person, and I feel like a lot of Amram inners. And I said this, the reason why I'm frustrated with the whole Kobe Mainoo talk, and this is the reason why I'm frustrated with the Kobe Mainoo talk, is because I sat here 3 months ago and I said, you guys will turn on Kobe Mainoo. I said this. I'm not dumb. I started this channel because I am smarter than the average human being. I'm telling you, I am. It's a fact, when it comes to psychology. And I said, after a while, this manager and his rhetoric and everything that he's doing is going to slowly turn a lot of people. Maybe Shivam didn't like Kobe from the first place, but it's going to turn you against certain players. So fortify your mind, so it doesn't happen to you, so you can be strong, so you can know a player's good without a manager having to flipping gaslight you into thinking he's crap. We know, and I know, there's loads of clubs that would scoop up Kobe Mainoo in a second. You know, and I know Kobe Mainoo could play for a lot of clubs. So to come on my channel, yeah, and try to say Kobe Mainoo is rubbish, bro. And it's not even a big channel that has 1,000 people. We don't have that many people, which means I have to read out your crap. If we had 1,000 people and he said that, I don't mind. I don't need to read it out. But I have to read it out. So now my brain is focused on the shit that Shivam just said, which is nonsense. But he's entitled to his opinion. Anyway. Supporters are furious at the club's leadership after a string of poor decisions and on-field results, especially the recent sacking of manager Ruben Amorim, which has heightened calls for accountability at the top. And that's probably Shivam's camp, right? Shivam's angry that the manager is sacked, and I'm happy that the manager is sacked. I think the manager was shit. The worst manager we've ever had. We should never have hired him in the first place. And they took way too long to sack him. Right? That's my opinion. A major fan group is pushing for a vote of no confidence. In Sir Jim Ratcliffe and the Glazer family and organising protests. Cool. I don't know about that. With these things, I'm not gonna lie, I don't trust anyone planning for protests and all these things, because a lot of times it doesn't happen, and if it does happen, it doesn't really do anything. So Ineos are not going anywhere. They've literally just arrived. But I'm pretty sure, I'm not gonna lie, I've heard that Sir Jim is very surprised. Sir Jim is very surprised with the negativity that's being pushed towards him. Very surprised, and I don't know why he's surprised, because like I said in previous shows, the sacking of Ruben Amorim to me showed more about Ineos than it did about Amorim, and for me, I now look at Ineos in a much more negative light than I did before. So I don't know about this, guys. Let's move on, people. I thought this will be interesting to have a quick look at. Let's have a quick look at, actually. Because a lot of people were angry about the Burnley game. And while I was also frustrated, I saw some positives, guys. I was like, listen, if this is Fletcher's first game, and yes, we didn't get the managerial bounce, and we probably should have beaten, no, not probably, we should have beaten them, and all these things, but I still saw us have decent passages of play at times. And when I see something like this, it kind of vindicates what I saw. It vindicates what I saw, and it says that both of Benjamin Sesko's goals against Burnley came from moves with 10 plus passes in the build-up. 16 for the first goal and 13 for the second goal. As many as Man United managed in the Premier League under Ruben Amorim. As many. So, just Amorim leaving, Fletcher having them for one training session, doing a small tweak, just a tiny tweak, we're already playing some football, especially against Burnley, some football better than we've seen under Ruben Amorim. Some. Not the whole game, because we weren't great for the whole game, but some passages of play, I was like, yeah, this looks okay. So I want to be more optimistic. And maybe the reason why I'm being more optimistic than someone like Shivam is because I wanted the manager out and Shivam wanted the manager in. So based on that, a lot of things are going to fall from that. I'm going to be more optimistic about the game. I'm going to be more optimistic looking ahead. I'm going to rate the players a bit more. All of these things. While someone like Shivam who wanted the manager in, he's going to be angry that the manager's left. He's going to blame the players For the manager leaving, he's going to blame the likes of Kobe Mainu and his brother wearing the t-shirt and all these things for the... That's his brain. That's his mindset. Which is fine. But like I said, I don't agree that Kobe Mainu is a shit... I think if you say Kobe Mainu is a shit footballer, it's his bias. And I can't have bias in my channel. I want intelligent football talk. That's what I want. Let's move on. Before we go, guys, David Ornstein on potential managers. There's a lot of talk. Big up Kwaku as well. Big up Kwaku. Big up TK as well in the chat. The friction in this chat shows how passionate we are towards this club. If only our ownerships felt the same. That's it. That's it. If only Ineos and Glazers cared about what we care about rather than the bottom line, rather than the money. Essentially, they care about the money, but not understand that in order to create the money, we need performances on the pitch. And they've neglected the on the pitch stuff. And now they don't have the money. They're not creating the money or generating the money because on the field, we're not doing well. They neglected the on the field stuff. They run this club like a commercial club only. So we'll see, man. It is what it is. You know, it is what it is. But all right, guys, let's finish off this spicy live show that we've just had. Everybody was saying, says David Ornstein, it's going to be Solskjaer. It may. He's a strong contender, but so is Carrick. We must not write him off in this situation. The more I think about it, the more I believe it could be Michael Carrick. When you think about it, we've already seen Solskjaer and we've already seen Van Nistelrooy. And so why not give Michael Carrick a go? And he's actually been managing. I mean, so have they. But Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, I don't think has worked for a while. So Carrick could make sense for interim. I don't mind midfielders, especially midfielders like Carrick, doing things like managing Man United for a couple of months, because his like the way he sees football means that he won't vacate the midfield. I don't think he will. And if it means that we take our time and we do the due diligence before hiring a manager in the summer, if it means we spend the next 4 months, and please, Ineos, get this decision right. Get this next decision right. Take your time. No hiring manager in the middle of the season like you tried to do with Ruben Amorim and all these things. Spend the next months, do your due diligence, vet these people properly, and give the right man the job. I beg you, give an attacking manager who wants to play attacking football, who's really good, really good. Anyway, there's also a third name in the frame, and that is Van Nistelrooy. Let me know, guys, out of the 3, which one you would choose. He's been spoken to, Van Nistelrooy, whereas Wilcox will be meeting Ollie and Carrick because he doesn't know them from previously. He says Wilcox won't be meeting with Ruud because he already knows him. But the club feels Solskjaer and Carrick are the 2 most likely guys. So it's either going to be Solskjaer or Michael Carrick, as it seems. So let me know, once again, comment, guys, why as well. Let me know why. Who do you want out of those 2 to manage Man United for the rest of the season? Carrick or Solskjaer? Let me know your thoughts. Ben Jacobs, of course, has also come out and weighed in that Solskjaer will hold face-to-face talks on Saturday, and Michael Carrick is in contention and already met with Omar Barada and Jason Wilcox on Thursday. So it's moving quickly. Fletcher thought he would, manage one match, but Fletcher is clearly managing two. Who knows? He might manage a third. I can't see him managing more than 3 games. Surely one of these two will come in and take over within the next week. I assume that a decision will be made by this time next week, guys. So let me know who you would pick for interim, and also throw in a name, guys. Throw in a name for who you would sign as the long-term manager. People are talking about Areola, talking about Glasner, even Xavi's name, and also De Zerbi. De Zerbi's name is back, and his name has been floated as well. So there are a few managers out there. There are a few. So let me know, guys. Let me know. We will finish by looking at the team. We will finish by looking at the team that I believe potentially will start the game. Bear with me 1 second, people. So huge. I don't know why I'm much better. Much better. Much better. Much better. All right, people. That is basically the team that started the last game. More or less. I mean, it was very interesting. Very interesting because the formation, we started like this, but just like most teams, we built up with 3 at the back. So while this was the formation, the actual system actually saw Dalot almost play as a wingback all the way up there. And we saw Heaven, we saw Martinez, and we saw Shaw a lot of times like that. And we saw Cunha and Fernandez as the 2 10s. We saw that build up. So even though, yes, it was kind of 4 at the back, Dalot was so high up the pitch on the right-hand side that he was playing a wing back. And the reason why I reckon our ex-manager never focused too much on the system, because he always used to say, listen, the heat maps show that Dalot playing as a right back or Dalot playing as a wing back potentially might be very, very similar if he occupies the same spaces. Right? And I kind of get that. So we looked a bit fluid in the previous game. Like I said, the system or the formation that we started with, the formation we lined up with was 4 at the back. Yes, it was. But often, like I said, you saw the back 3, and you saw Dalot push up level with Dorgu at times. And that's what we saw. That's what we saw. So I'm expecting the same formation, as in how we start the game, and a similar system, which is how we play the game. Now, sometimes you use formation and system interchangeably. I like to think of formation is how you set up, and system is how you play. So it is what it is. Ivan says Ineos are going to hold talks with me. I'm not taking any salary, and I'll make sure to say how glorious Jim and company is at every presser. They have told me I'm a dream candidate. Listen, you need to understand, yeah, when you reach high up, yeah, in the echelons of capitalism, i.e. you start getting offered jobs to be CEO and get paid millions and all these things. It's not really about how good you are. Like 100 million people could do Amrim's job. 100 million. 100 million people could manage these football clubs. The difference between people who manage football clubs and people who don't is how you speak around certain people, how you conduct yourself, how you look, how you smile, how much arse you kiss. All these sort of intangibles that you kind of need to learn in the corporate world. How many hands you shake. That's the stuff that matters a lot in this world. That's the truth. So, I ain't gonna lie, Ivan. Kissing ass works, bro. Ivan, you'll be better than I would. Ivan, as long as you hire me as a number 2. Ivan, can I be your number 2, please? I'll put the cones down. I'll do the drills. I'll lead the rondos and all that. You know. Who? Who says? Oh, but he's. It's interesting that I can't see because I pressed the B, and I thought because it's but it's not me, so it doesn't matter. I forget that I'm not signing as Charles Wisdom, so even if I did that, it wouldn't work. But I did it because I had enough. Anyway, am I good at set pieces? Yeah, I'm a tall guy, man. I'm 6'5". You know, I'm good at heading the ball, man. I'll be the set piece coach. TK says, Ivan, as long as you're huh? Oh, as long as you can pour honey into our ears and do nothing. TK, bro. Oh, man. So, I don't know. I can't see him changing much, like I said. Brighton are a good team. We know how good Brighton are. We've seen Brighton play. We know what Welbeck's about. We know Welbeck has a bone on when he plays us. Like, it's going to be a hard game. It's going to be... Is it at Old Trafford? It's at Old Trafford. What does that mean? I don't know what that means because what's our win percentage at Old Trafford? What is our win percentage when we have the ball? Fletcher, Darren Fletcher just experienced firsthand, especially that when we have more than 50% possession, because against Burnley we had 65% possession, and Fletcher he found out firsthand that when we have the ball we lose. So Brighton at Old Trafford, I don't know, guys. I don't know. Look at that, guys. I just literally asked AI. It says Manchester United has a 20% win rate in all competitions this season when they have 60% or more possession. I can't believe that stat is a stat, bro. When we have more than 60% of the ball, we only win 20% of the time. Wow, that's a crazy stat. TK can be the team psychologist. we got the manager, Ivan the manager. I'll be the set piece coach. TK can be the team psychologist. We have to get Shivam as the flipping recruitment. No, we can't have Shivam head of recruitment. He'll get Kobe Manu out. We can't do that. There's a conflict. He's not allowed. We got Osman. Osman could be I don't know, head of data or something. Listen, the problem is, that I understand expertise is important, and we need to respect professionals. But there comes a time where we get older as men and we are the professionals. TK is the professional. Ivan, we're all professional. I assume in all of our fields. I'm a professional. I'm a finance guy. So there comes a point where you start realizing that you know just as much as these other professionals, or you start realizing, hold on a second, you're not smarter than me. You just have a different job than I do. That's it. I'm not saying you lose respect for these professionals, but there comes a point where you're like, I can do your job. Shut the hell up and sit down. What are we doing here? I'm not saying I could do Amrim's job, by the way. I'm not speaking in general terms. Turkish will be sporting director. Now, Ivan's thing is, Ivan's writing it down, you know. Ivan has got his business plan. He's going to present it to flipping Ineos. PowerPoint presentation and all these, bro. I can do that, man. I can help you with the PowerPoint. Yeah, let me know, guys, what you think about the team, the lineup, the game. Let's do our predictions. I'm going to go first. I will say, I don't know. I don't even know. Man United at home, FA Cup, Brighton. No Beleba, no it's gonna be a tight game. It's gonna be a close game. I don't even know, guys. I'm gonna go with another draw. I know. I'm gonna go with a draw, and then extra time and penalties. I've just asked AI what the likely outcome is. Let's see what AI says. Come on, TK, give it to us. Give it to us, TK. All right. Just lie. TK, just lie, bro. Let's say we're gonna win, man. What happened? Do I need to put okay? And also against Brighton, we got to put Cat Pillow. We got to make Cat Pillow more prominent. We need to go back. We need to go back to making a Cat Pillow more prominent feature on the show. Maybe that's also an issue. Maybe it will chill me out. Maybe I'll stop snapping at Shivam. Maybe I'll stop snapping at Shivam when he has an opinion that's against mine. Like Kobe Manu. Maybe maybe I learn to let it go if I make Cat Pillar more prominent. Who knows? But yeah, guys, 2-1. All right, there we go. We're gonna win 2-1. TK has spoken. Ham is Luke Shaw territory. Will Cox can be the laundry guy and Barada the masseuse. Right, Ivan is proper demoting these guys, you know. Oh, in case you guys are interested, I put it on the screen. I put the AI results on the screen. AI is saying, what is AI saying? That Opta supercomputer gives Manchester United a 42% chance of winning, while Brighton chance is rated at 31%. There is a 26% chance of the tie going to extra time. So AI has done something and somehow produced this. I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know. Oh, yeah, Mandalorian. TK has spoken. I swear they're my favorite people in the Mandalorian, you know. I have spoken. we will travel with you to that planet, and then we will disembark on our own journey. I have spoken. I'm like, yeah, damn right you spoken. Damn right. Big up TK. Big up Ivan. Big up Shivam. Me and Shivam are gonna be going at me and Shivam are gonna disagree about a lot of things. So big up Shivam. Big up Kwaku. Big up Niche Fan. It's all love, apart from when it's not love. It's all... Guys, it's all about perspective. If you look at us as a mid club, then we are doing pretty well. Up there fighting for European spots. and we have a great game coming up against Brighton. Yeah, yeah. It's true. It's true. It's true. Lower your expectations. Manage your expectations. Today's MVP is Turkish. Kept a calm head like Fletcher. Turkish always tries to calm everyone down. Keep everything in order. Try to calm me down. At least I'm not like Saeed and other guys. Listen, you guys think I get angry, bro. I'm not telling you, yeah, that my frustration levels, yeah, compared to what I see how other people just literally lose it. Absolutely lose it. I saw Saeed a couple of weeks ago absolutely lose it on stream, fighting on stream. Like, it's crazy. So I try my best. Some things, yeah, when some people say certain things, I try to let it go. I really do. And I think I've worked really hard on doing that. But there's some things I just can't. I can't let it go. Can't. I try, but I can't. Anyway, our aim is to stay in the Prem anyways. And we are clear of relegation. Ivan, you're taking liberties now. You know the ones you got to tell yourself other things. Our aim is to stay in the Premier League, fight off relegation. So by that standard, us being in 6th is a good thing. So let's celebrate. Let's be happy. Listen, perspective is key. It is key. Happiness is found within, Ivan. What Ivan is trying to teach us is find happiness within. Yeah. Change perspective. Don't keep looking at what other people are doing, how much money other people have, all these things. If you just change your perspective, you can find happiness. So I hear you, Ivan. I hear you. What is this on my screen? Ahmad. Oh, my boy. Oh, my guy, Ahmad. My guy, Ahmad. So this looks like Ahmad may potentially win player of the tournament at AFCON. And personally, I didn't see how he wouldn't. I'm trying to think who is, because when you I rate Ahmad very, very highly. I think you guys know that. I might rate him higher than a lot of you guys do. I think he's our best footballer. Arguably, let's say arguably, because sometimes I'm like, but I think he's there. He's up there with one of our most gifted footballers. I like this kid a lot. So he's spoken on potentially winning the tournament, and he said, of course, it's a personal goal for me. It's a dream. A winning player of the tournament, sorry. Of course, it's a personal goal for me. It's a dream. But as I said, you mustn't be selfish. You have to think about others. I'm not trying to be Ivory Coast best player. On the pitch, I try to fight and make my contribution. My greatest dream is to lift the trophy. There you go. Some positive, some wise words from Ahmad. It seems as if he will go all the way. So we're not going to see Ahmad at least for the next week or so. Cameroon, I believe, were losing. Last time I checked, Cameroon were losing. Is it still 1-0 Cameroon? So they're losing. They could be knocked out today, which means Mbeumo could be returning very, very soon. So yeah, guys, let's end positively. Let's end in a nice way. It's a Friday evening. Enjoy your evening, guys. We'll be back here on Sunday, of course, for the Brighton game. Big up yourselves. Big up the chat. Apologies for the frustration as well, guys. But it's natural. One thing I can say to you lot and all you guys who watch, I ain't fake. I ain't fake. What you see is, and I explain myself. I will explain my frustrations. I'll explain why I'm annoyed. I'll always try to explain my positions, guys, so it doesn't look like I'm some flipping crazy guy. So apologies for that. Big up yourselves, everybody. We will be back here on Sunday for the watch along. So yeah, enjoy your Fridays, and I will see you guys next time.